Bonjour everyone, and welcome back to the waves of your soul. I am so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be filming again, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you in this video my current favorite tarot decks, oracle decks. We're gonna do a live catch-up because I just came back from an epic trip to South Africa and I've got many goodies to share with you. We're gonna talk about general life update, the things that have brought me joy lately. I normally do a monthly favorite, but honestly life has been a little bit hectic in the month of August. I was sick all month, and then in the month of September I wasn't really home as I was gone to South Africa for half of it. So I thought instead of trying to fret about doing backwards monthly favorites, I would just do one video where I share with you all the things that have brought me joy in the last 2 to 3 months. It feels so good to be back. I've missed you guys so much and I'm just really happy to be back. I've got so much to share with you. So if you're new here, I want to say a huge welcome. My name is Marine. I'm a French tarot reader slash deck goblin, and on my channel I love reading the cards and I love talking about them. In these kinds of videos where I share my current favorite, I always put timestamps in the description box so that you can move around between sections. If you're here just for the tarot and oracle decks, that's usually at the end of the video, but if you want to hear about my South Africa trip, what I brought back, we're doing a little mini haul. If you want to hear about the other things that brought me joy recently, then make sure to stick around. The description box will have timestamps and chapters so that it's easier to navigate for you. Per usual, I will leave the names of the decks I'm mentioning, just in case my French froggy accent gets in the way and you're ever unsure about what I'm talking about. It's in the description box. And without further ado, I think we're gonna get into it. We'll start with a life update. Ooh, do I have stuff to share with you? Let's get into it. As you can see from my background and from some beautiful jewelry pieces that I brought back, even though that's not even half of it, I went ham on the jewelry, you guys. I love jewelry. The theme, you can tell from here, very much is giving South African vibes because I just got back from a 2-week trip with my family and it was absolutely amazing. And so while I'm kind of giving you a little bit of an update, I'll share some videos with you. A lot of you were curious, actually a lot of you followed me on Instagram on my stories. I had a few hundreds of you watching my stories every day, commenting, saying you really enjoyed seeing what I was up to. If you're ever curious about what I'm up to in the everyday, the best bet is to follow me on Instagram. I love to share on my stories. It's the easiest way for me to share stuff. So I shared my trip on Instagram pretty whenever I got Wi-Fi, which wasn't very often, but I still wanted to do a little update for you guys here who are not on Instagram, and still because I wanted a place where I could kind of go back and look at some images myself, look back on this trip in a few years' time. So I went on a family trip to South Africa. It wasn't the first time that I had been there. I've actually been very lucky to have been to South Africa a few times when I was younger. South Africa is not that far from Reunion Island. It's only a 3-hour flight, so it's a place that's fairly accessible for us. It's much easier to go to South Africa than to go to like Europe, for example. For us in Reunion, we had always wanted to go back, and we had thought about going back 2 years ago as it was my dad's big birthday, it was his 70th, but at the time I was really not good. I mean, for those of you who are new to my channel, I know I got really sick about 4 or 5 years ago. I now navigate the waters of chronic pain, chronic illness, and 2 years ago I could barely walk, so it was not feasible for me to do such a long journey. This year we thought, let's do it, finally, belated. I am definitely more mobile, although this trip was very challenging for me physically. With that in mind, we decided to go to Kruger Park, which is a huge park where you can get in your own car and go and see the animals. And we also visited Cape Town for a few days. Kruger Park was definitely for me the highlight of the trip. I'm a huge animal lover. Again, I'm gonna leave some images here. The idea of going into Kruger is that you go there with your own vehicle and you can drive around in between the encampments. You're not allowed to leave your car because obviously the wildlife is out there. Animals are living their best lives. They're free, right? It's a huge park. There are plenty of animals. If you were ever to leave your car, you might involuntarily donate an arm to a lion or get trampled by an elephant. So you're not allowed to leave your car apart from when you get to the camps. There's a few camps in Kruger Park. and that's where you usually sleep. So you have to make sure that you book your trip quite a long time in advance, so you can be sure to have your nights in the camps. They won't let you in the park for more than a day if you can't prove that you've booked nights there, because they close the gates at night. So there's very strict time where you can be in the park, and then by 6 o'clock you have to be back at a camp, otherwise they will close the gate. And if you're not back then, too bad for you, you're going to be sleeping with the hyenas. So it's very strict and controlled, because this is definitely the kind of place where you are visiting the animals in their habitat, right? It's us visiting them and not the other way around. Rules you have to respect, and you have to plan your trip quite carefully. And we had planned a few nights in Kruger, we had booked a few nights in different camps, so we had this whole itinerary we were going to be doing, traveling in between camps. Some days we slept at the same camps 2 nights in a row because of my chronic pain. We knew I would be tired and kind of like need a little bit of a break. Days we moved from one camp to the next as we had planned on an itinerary, because different part of Krugers have different ecosystems. Some places have more rivers, some places are more savanna, some places are more mountain-like, and obviously the animals you're gonna see are gonna change depending on where you go, right? I was completely blown away. I cried so many times from seeing animals. We saw everything I could have dreamed: elephants, zebras, lions, hyenas that walked past right next to us in a picnic area. We saw some beautiful warthogs, beautiful birds. I personally am a huge bird lover, so obviously and Kruger is rich with birds, so many different birds, eagles, vultures. I love those kinds of animals, so I was completely blown away. Like I said, I was crying every day of just pure awe and feeling so grateful that I was able to do this. It was super challenging for me physically, because you're literally in the car all day. I said you're not allowed to leave the car, and for me it's very hard on my back, on my ribs and stuff. So physically it was probably one of the hardest things I've done ever since I've gotten sick, but the payoff was incredible and I've just been so grateful. And obviously right now hopefully you're seeing some images of the trip, and I think you can see why I was so in awe, because it's been an incredible experience. Like I said, it wasn't my first time in Kruger. I went when I was younger, when I was like teenagers, and I had amazing memories, but going back as an adult now with a different took on it, now that I'm definitely more spiritual, I'm definitely more connected to the animal in a, I guess, different way, right? I've matured. It was an incredibly powerful, deep and profound experience for me to see them live in their habitat, to experience them right next to us. I mean, we've seen elephants that were not even a meter from us. We saw an eagle land right next to the car, beautiful huge eagle. Hippos that were literally right next to the car, elephants. It was just incredible, and my heart is so full. So I can't recommend Kruger enough for those of you who want to do a safari, but on a safari that's accessible. Most other places that offer safaris, you have to book with like a ranger, you have to get into a jeep, you need a guide, and the roads are dirt roads and things like that, so it can make it difficult, not just monetarily because it's very expensive, but also in terms of like accessibility for all sorts of different things, right? Practicality and stuff. In Kruger, what really for me blew me away was the fact that even I, with my dynamic disability, managed to see so many things, because first you're going with your own car, so we rented a car there, but it means that you take your time, you go at your own pace. Obviously you need to make sure you're back before 6 p.m. Nighttime, otherwise, like I said, they close the gates of the camps and you're gonna sleep with the hyenas. But you don't have to drive around a lot or every day, depending on how you plan your trip. If you want to just be going around the camp for the day and come back, you can. The roads are really great because they're real concrete roads, so for me, who has big problems with my back and my ribs, we didn't have to go to any dirt roads. There's plenty of dirt roads in Kruger that you can go that will take you deeper into the forest or closer to the river or whatever, but actually all the animals that we saw, and we saw everything, like I said, lions, elephants, you name it. The only thing we didn't see was a rhino. There's unfortunately very few of them now, so apparently they're very difficult to see anyway. We saw everything from the main roads in Kruger, the roads that are concrete, and with no guides, no ranger or anything, just on our own time, taking our own time, doing our own thing. So in terms of accessibility and easiness to do, it's definitely the best place for me that I would recommend anyone doing a safari. You can, once you're in the camps, then book different either walks in the bush, or you can book drives with rangers and stuff. Those are all in a jeep, and they take you like again off-road, dirt road. That again for me physically is not possible, so we didn't do any of that. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you are like me, you have chronic pain, or you live with disability or something, Kruger still definitely allows you to do a safari in a way that's very accessible. I mean, a lot of the camp are wheelchair friendly and stuff like that, so there was definitely ways that we could adapt to me, and that felt amazing. Like I said, it was still very physically challenging, and I've been back for a few days, but I was bedbound. I wasn't able to sit up and film, so I've been needing a few days to rest, but now I'm back, and I wanted to, now that I've shared with you some of the images, pictures and stuff of what I've been up to, I thought I would share with you some bits and bobs I brought back from South Africa, because again, I asked on Instagram if you guys wanted to see that, and everybody said yes, so I thought I would share it. So first, here you can see my beautiful new zebra mask. It's handmade in wood. There's so much craft in South Africa. People are so talented. They do a lot of things out of wood, such as this beautiful mask. My family, they brought back so many beautiful things. I didn't want anything too big, but I'm very, very happy with what I got. Another thing that people in South Africa are very talented for is work not just with wood, but with stone. Stone carving is huge. I definitely made the most of it because I am a magpie. I love little trinkets. So here you can see a little leopard that is made out of stone carving that I brought back from South Africa, and because obviously I wanted to take a few, because I thought when I do my pick-up art readings we could using those little animals as a way to choose. So I got a leopard one, I got a zebra. I mean, look at this, so cute, all handmade, everything. People are just super talented. They're very patient and amazing craft. I was blown away. Same with beadwork. Here we have a little penguin because we went to see the penguins in Cape Town, the penguin colony, which is in Boulder Beach. I'll make sure to also leave some images of that. Right now, African penguins, a huge highlight for me this trip. I absolutely adore them. They are so precious, beautiful. I cried again at the colony. I was a crazy French lady that was crying over the penguins being so precious. Sadly, I found out that at this rate, with the loss of habitat, with everything going on, with global warming, with water rising, with like all the places where they live being reduced, and with like extreme intense fishing and everything, at this rate, African penguins could be gone by 2035, which is like 10 years, you guys. It's depressing. Which is the other side of this trip, which I'll tell you about in a bit, is that there is a very sad reality. All the animals that I saw, whilst I was in awe of how amazing they were, I couldn't help but think that they might not be there in 10 years time. Here's an example with a rhino. I got this beautiful little stone carved rhino. We didn't see any rhino in Kruger. Apparently there's barely any left. The ranger that we talked to at the camp told us that the few rhinos left are in private camps, because Kruger Park is a national park, but there's still in South Africa a lot of like private camps, private lodges, private reserves, and that's where most of the rhinos are. We didn't want to go into any private reserves. We really wanted to go to the national park one, and yeah. I was also very lucky because whilst on my trip I found so many feathers. So here you can, and I'm a huge bird lover, here you can see beautiful feathers from a guinea fowl, and I actually have quite a few feathers here, you guys. Look, I just put them here whilst we were traveling. I wanted to share them with you, so I found quite a lot of guinea fowl feathers, which are these ones, which are, I'll put a picture of the guinea fowl here on the screen, but just so you can see those beautiful feathers. So love those. I collect feathers. If you didn't know, I have quite a few from different places I go in the world. When I find one, I always take them with me. Precious spiritual tools for me, so was very excited. I also found a handful that had fallen literally right next to one of our home that we stayed in. Hornbill feathers, so beautiful. They're so cute with a little dot, and I will make sure again to leave an image of the hornbill here so you can see which bird it belongs to. If you've watched King, you're gonna recognize this one. Probably my favorite pieces. We have here some vulture feathers, which are absolutely the softest feathers I've ever touched, and I saw so many vultures in South Africa, in Kruger specifically, which I was very hoping for. They were one of my top animals I wanted to see because I know how precious they are to the ecosystem. I know how important they are to the whole connection between all the animals, and I know how much in danger they are. So vultures, even though a lot of people think of them are disgusting, were actually very, very high on my list of animals to see. I'll leave some images of the vultures we saw here. We saw actually vultures feeding. There was about 100 of them and it was incredible. I'm just super grateful. These are probably my favorite find and they're super soft. And finally here are some eagle feathers, and again just so soft, so beautiful, so precious. So I'm gonna treasure these for the rest of my life as a bird lover for sure. One of my favorite things we did whilst we were here was to go to a wildlife rehabilitation center. I really wanted to go to one. There's quite a few with like chronic pain, and the fact that the trip was already quite demanding for me physically, I couldn't do all the ones I wanted to do. We just had to pick one. So we ended up going to Moholoholo, which is a wildlife rehabilitation center in Hotspur, which is on the outskirts of Kruger, a little town on the outskirts of Kruger. And it was created by someone who used to work in Kruger Park, who decided to buy a lot of lands that used to be farm, and he's turned them into a rehabilitation center for wildlife animals. It's been open for about 34 years, I think. I'm gonna make sure to leave the link in the description box. If you are at all an animal lover and you decide to go to South Africa, it's so precious. Obviously they take you around and they explain the work they've been doing, trying to save as many animals as you can. 90% of the animals you'll see in the park will never be able to go back into nature, either because they've been too hurt or they are too used to humans. They've been like desensitized to the wildlife, but they still do everything they can to care for them. Again, I leave some images. They take care of so many birds, vultures, eagles that have been hurt in electric fences and that can no longer fly, and so they give them a home. They take care of leopards and cheetahs and lions that were bought as cubs, that were traded on the black market, that were used to take pictures with people, and then obviously at this point they are so used to humans that they can't be released back in the wild. So when this happens, Moholoholo decides to like swoops in and saves these animals and gives them a place to live. They rescue a lot of hippos and rhinos that have been poached or hurt. Really do everything they can to save the animals and to either try and release them back in the wild, or heal them when they've been hurt, which happens a lot, or give them a good home if they are not able to be released back into their natural state. And honestly, it was an amazing experience. I can't recommend visiting this place enough. If you can do a rehabilitation center, make sure you pick good ones, I want to say, because sadly we found out being there that some rehabilitation centers are not so good at actually taking care of the animals. They just want to take people's money, but in the background they don't take care of them well. For having spent a whole day in Moholoholo, I can tell you that this is one of the good places where they truly do a lot of work with the community, with the animals around. They rescue a lot, they actually release a lot. It's definitely not for the faint of heart either. It's the other side, right, of life. It's the true reality. We see how much humans have hurt animals, whether that's through agriculture, electric fence, hunting, poaching, black market, poisoning. All of those things are sadly a reality there, and yet they are doing whatever they can to save the animals. I wanted to say a huge thank you actually talking about that, because whilst I was there, thanks to you guys still watching my video even when I wasn't posting, I could donate all of my August YouTube AdSense earnings, which was amazing. I was super happy to be able to do that. So thank you so much to all of you who watch my videos and stuff, because thanks to you I could give a little donation to them, and that really meant a lot to me. Let's continue in my haul. So beautiful feathers have you seen. Now let's talk about crystals. Oh my god, you guys, when we went to Cape Town, at this point I wasn't physically doing the best. It had already been a very intense physically for me trip, so I wasn't as mobile as I wanted to. But one of the places that was super high on my list was a place I had been as a child actually that I wanted to still go because I couldn't believe they were still there, and it's called Scratch Patch, and it's a place where you can go and pick your own crystals. So what they've done is that they've covered the whole floor of this kind of cave type place with tumblestone, and you can buy a cup. Again, I'm gonna leave some images here. You can buy a cup and you can take your time and fill your cup with as many crystals as you want. And a cup cost me like €5, I think. So here are all the beautiful tumblestones that I picked in Scratch Pact that you can literally just pick up off the floor, and you choose the crystals you want to put in your cup. It's like crystal pick and mix, and there's everything. We have some bloodstone, we have some beautiful jasper, we have some Dalmatian jasper, we have some prehnite, we have some Botswana agate and lace agate, we have some amethyst and rose quartz. quartz. Name it, it's there. We have some lapis lazuli. My suitcase was so full of crystals when we left because I went ham on the crystal place, okay, in Scratch Patch. It was amazing. So I'm gonna actually be sharing all of this with my godson who loves crystal as well, so he's gonna get his pick out of this. I'm gonna be sharing it with some friends, giving some presents. And look at this beautiful basket. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can. Also, I picked it up in South Africa. It's weaved in this like kind of metallic wire, so beautiful. And of course, all of these are gonna be used on my channel for pick a card. You'll be able to pick the crystal that calls out to you. I mean, look at this. It's just, I couldn't believe that you could just walk and pick the crystal you wanted. I was like, this is heaven. I can die here. Thank you. I will stay here and never leave. This is beautiful. Tiger's eye, yeah. And of course, because I'm, like I said, I'm a huge crystal bitch, I had to bring back some of the things from this shop. They carry beautiful crystals from South Africa. So I picked up this beautiful geode, this beautiful little quartz geode, which is, again, you probably see in a lot of my videos. Like I said, animal carvings, stone carvings are huge in Africa. So elephant made out of sodalite, which elephant is an animal I love to work with, and obviously in South Africa, in Kruger, I saw so many, and it holds a very special signification for me, this animal, so I was very excited to be able to bring back a little carving. I got this made out of red jasper, look at it. And with this beautiful insert here, I can't. It's so beautiful. And I think the carvings cost me less than 10 euros, which is crazy. It's all done by hand, by a local community. They show you the people making them and stuff. They're so talented. So I finally got this beautiful owl made of moss agate. Oh no, look at this. It's so gorgeous. So again, you're going to be seeing them in future videos. Pick a card reading, you'll be able to pick the animal that calls out to you the most. Found a beautiful piece of citrine. And look at this little rainbow here. Ooh, I can't. So beautiful piece of citrine. Probably one of my favorite pieces. I wanted one for so long. I found a gorgeous rose quartz bowl, again from the same shop. They are all hand carved by local people, and yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So you're going to be seeing this a lot. I don't know if I'll be putting some little charms in there, if I'll put a candle, I'm not sure. I mean, I could even put my guacamole, to be honest, and infuse it with beautiful energy. But yeah, this is so precious. Very quickly before I move on to other things and we finish this little South African haul, hopefully if this is interesting to you guys, I don't know if you guys are actually interested or not, but I wanted to share, like I was saying, beads weaving is huge there, so I picked up quite a few bracelets and earrings for me, for my friends. Again, all of these were made by local communities, and they were helping like local women, so I went ham on the jewelry, but I was very excited. And finally, I found some cute little pouches with this beautiful African fabric, so I picked up a couple for carrying decks around. So yeah, this is it for my little South African haul. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Hopefully it was interesting to see. Before I get into tarot and oracle decks, I have quite a few to share with you because I've not done a video in like 2 months about my favorite decks, so we've got a lot to talk about. I wanted to do a little parenthesis and talk about some makeup. I said this is a current favorite. Normally in current favorites I talk about books or video games, lifestyle stuff, whatever's brought me joy, and I really wanted to share some new makeup that's been making me happy. So last month I got my order from Lethal Cosmetics. It's a queer-owned, woman-owned makeup company based in Germany, and they did a collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you've watched my recent videos, you know that a huge highlight for me of 2024 has been discovering for the first time and watching and enjoying Avatar: The Last Airbender. So when I saw that they were doing a collaboration, it's already one of my favorite makeup company. It was a no-brainer. I had to pick a couple of things up. We have this gorgeous Appa makeup pouch. Can we talk about it? It's so fuzzy, it's so cute, and obviously if you've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know that this is Aang's bison, and not only is it got beautiful zip and it fits so many things. To be honest, I might not even put makeup in it. I might put tarot decks because that's how I roll. Even the zip, because Appa is never alone, right? We have a little zip with Momo on it. so cute. So honestly, this was amazing. As soon as I saw they were doing a pouch, I had to get it. So cute. I've been carrying all of my stuff around in South Africa in it, and it brought me so much joy. And a couple of makeup of pieces I got from this particular collaboration. I got the obviously I had to my favorite character, General Iroh. I got his highlighter, and then I got a couple of the eyeliner set. We're doing one for each of the main characters. I got the one from Aang and the one from Toph because those were my favorite colors. So let's start with the highlighter. To be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna be wearing this highlighter a lot. It's very pink, I'll share with you, but I mean, when I saw that it was Iroh, I couldn't pass because it's my favorite character. And look, even here it says, in the darkest time, hope is something you give yourself. My favorite Iroh quote. He's my favorite character. He is, I think, a Hierophant through and through. This is inspired by the White Lotus Society. As you can see, we have the beautiful White Lotus here, and hopefully you can see that it's definitely a highlighter that leans in a little pink. I don't want to put my fingers in it because I'm gonna be about to be touching some Tarot and Oracle decks, and I know I'm gonna end up looking like I've bitch slapped Tinkerbell. That always happens to me. So I won't put my fingers in that, but just trust that it's very pink leaning, which is normally I go more for golden tones, but I just couldn't pass it. Other couple of pieces I got from this line were eyeliner set. They were doing one for each of the main characters. They had also shadow palettes, they had red lipsticks, they have so many stuff. I'll make sure to leave the link below. I'm not sponsored, I'm just a fangirl of both the makeup brand and the show, so obviously I just wanted to share out of love. So I got the Aang one and the Toph one. On each of the set, first off, as you can see, we always have either the air tribe here, we have the earth tribe here. The packaging is just so beautiful. For each of the sets, you always have a color that is a little bit, I would say, more muted, and you have a multi-chrome. So here you have, it looks black on camera, but it's actually a very deep dark green type of eyeliner. And my favorite one, which is this beautiful green blue multichrome, which looks amazing on the eyes. I tried those already, and the duration is amazing. It doesn't dry, it doesn't itch. It's great. I love Lethal Cosmetics, and they didn't disappoint with this. Sometimes when some brands do some collaborations, the quality goes down a little bit, but actually this is just as good as what I know and love from the brand. And I also got the Aang set because it had blue, which, you know, very demure, very simple, very me. I've got two sides of me. I'm either no makeup at all, or the brightest colorful clown makeup, drag makeup you can think of. That's that. I've got two modes. There is no in between. I don't know no makeup type of girl. I don't know what that is. I'm either full clown drag or no makeup at all. I've got no in between. So obviously colors like this I love, and this is it looks white, but again it's a multi-chrome. Hopefully you can see that it's got lots of sparkle. Okay, maybe I'll share it with you guys, this one. I feel like I can do it without getting it everywhere, right? I can do that. Hopefully you can see it's pink and green, yellow, pink. Yeah, really cute. I am obsessed with little finds, and the fact that it's Avatar related just makes it all the better. Okay, let's talk about decks, baby. Let's do it. It's been a while. We have quite a few decks to talk about. Not that many, because in the month of August I was super sick, so I wasn't actually really well enough to use as many decks I wanted. And then obviously when I went away, I only brought a couple of decks because I knew we were going to be moving around in the savannah and stuff. Let's start with the decks I brought to South Africa that I used every day almost, just for like daily draw, little messages. My family pulled a card as well every day. It was fun. The first one I wanted to bring, and that served really well, Animal Kin Oracle. It exists mass market in French, but it also exists mass market in English. I wanted a oracle based on animals for going to South Africa because I thought for daily draws it would be super fun as a way to pull a card and see if we would see that animal in real life. And that happened so much, you guys. It was crazy. We would pull a card in the morning and we would end up seeing it that day driving around Kruger Park, and it was just amazing. So here are the back. This is a very well loved oracle deck for me. You can see it looks beat up. It's definitely seen its fair share of use, and it's definitely an oracle deck that I use a lot, that I've used a lot over the years. Like I said, that served me really well while I was in South Africa because the amount of time we would pull a card for the day and actually see that animal in real life, was crazy. So not only is this deck very beautiful, I love the bold borders, I also love guidebook, because the guidebook doesn't just give you messages for your day, guidance, self-empowerment, all of that. It's actually also full of facts, animal facts, that will remind you of like how they live, what they eat, how they sleep, things that are related to their ecosystems, to their habits, and things like that. Just teach you a lot about animals, as well as give you a beautiful message for your day. So yeah, the day we saw lioness, we actually pulled the lion card before. It was just so many beautiful synchronicities. This is definitely a very accessible oracle deck. Like I said, even my family enjoyed pulling from it. Daily guidance, daily message. Even people who are not necessarily into card slinging as much as, you know, big deck goblins like us, they still enjoy this one because it's very easy to approach and the messages are easy to apply to every day. And it's just, for me, it's definitely a workhorse. It's a classic. I absolutely adore it. The blue sterling, I think you call it in English. So many of them. First day I was taking so many pictures of this bird, only to realize a day later that in Kruger Park they are like pigeons, they are everywhere. Day one I took 100 pictures of them, and then I was seeing them every day and being like, oh okay, I guess they're not that rare, but you know what, they're still beautiful and I still love them so much. I was hoping I'd find a feather from them, but I didn't, and that's okay. The other deck that I brought with me on my trip to South Africa was a Rainbow Tarot. New deck to my collection. I've only had it since August. It's a mass market deck. That's originally, it was indie deck, and it's been picked up mass market by Chronicle Books. Some nice rainbow holo here and some little thumb cutout. It's really well made actually, and it was super affordable. I think on Raves I got it. I bought it for like less than 15 euros, maybe 12 euros or something. It comes with the deck in itself and a really good guidebook. I enjoyed the guidebook actually. I didn't take it with me because I wanted to save on space, and I'm glad I did, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to bring so many crystals back. But I had read the guidebook before going away, and it's good. It has good question. It's definitely a good resource if you're a beginner. There's as much text for the minors as there is for the majors, so really well done here, Chronicle Books. The one thing I will say is the card quality, not the best. I mean, we have this really nice holo on the edges, or gilded. I never know if it's edged, gilded, I don't know, you guys, foiled. I'm not sure. I'm not a pro. I'm not a cardstock pro. I'm not a cardstock snob. I don't really give a shit. As long as I like the artwork, it works for me. The backs, probably some of my favorite backings of the year. They're just so precious and cute and fun. So love those. And like I said, the cardstock is quite thin. I will say that. Definitely thinner, I would say, than Los Carabeo and US Games, but you know me, like I said, I'm not a cardstock snob. I don't really care, as long as I like the artwork. And this was perfect for South Africa because I wanted an easy deck for my use personally. I knew I wasn't going to be reading for other people really there. We had the Oracle deck to pull from for our daily stuff, but I knew that the Tarot deck was more for me if I wanted on rest days, because had to take those with my chronic pain just to do a little bit of check-in with me, if I wanted to, like, you know, check in with myself, check in with my guides. I wanted a deck that would be super colorful, easy to read with, not too obscure, not too dark, not too esoteric, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Is that the saying? And this was perfect. The colors, I love them. I love the artwork. It's so enchanting. It's an RWS clone. It's super easy to read with. And honestly, for South Africa, it was perfect because all of those bright colors worked so well with my surroundings. I love this Nine of Pentacles with the little snail on the end. Come on, so cute. So yeah, this is an absolute joy. I really enjoyed using it in the month of September. With the Animal Kin Oracle, it was a great pairing. I hadn't really planned it that much when I went there. I just got this one because I wanted an animal, and I got this one because I wanted a colorful, easy mass market deck, and also because it was new, I thought I'd take it. But actually these two together are just really good. There's something about the very bright colors, so I enjoyed these together, and it was a nice little combo, a nice bright pop of color. And look at that, I mean, just, yeah, I love this pairing. Definitely brought a lot of joy. in, look at this, it's like I'm doing it on purpose, I'm not. But yeah, beautiful. Love this combo in the month of September. Let's move on. A very different combo. So we've just had the cute, colorful, animal-based combo. Let's talk about shadow work combo. Much darker, much more creepy, I would say, but still that I absolutely have been loving in the last 2-3 months. Have here the Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle, which you would have seen in my latest haul that I posted before I left. We also have the Corrupted Tarot, which I've been working consistently with ever since I've gotten this 4 months ago now, I think. So let's start with this. Let's start with the Oracle. Some of the Wild Things. It's a mass market Oracle deck written by Angie Solins, artwork by Eva Boneva. This is definitely in the realm of what I would call creepy cute. I have a very fine line between things I find creepy in the sense of I can't work with them and the things that I find creepy but still super cute. This is just the perfect balance for me. This is very glossy, by the way, so sorry for all the glare, but I can't do better than that. Sides are this kind of like dark green slash almost gray, like an hematite kind of edge. Just like I was saying, the perfect balance between creepy, so perfect for like the Halloween season coming up and stuff, and yet a lot of cute. Some of the images are a little bit more disturbing than others. What drew me to this is not just the aesthetic, although I found a lot of these little creatures very charming. It's actually the quality of the keyword or key phrases, I should say. I really enjoy what these cards say and how you can work with them, and I've enjoyed working with this Oracle deck a lot recently in the last couple of months, 3 months, whenever I got this. The way that this reads is brilliant because you don't need the guidebook. I think the key phrases are very intuitive, very easy to read, and I think that they are unique, different, and allow to expand your readings in ways that changes from your stereotypical Oracle decks. Things like Beware the Shame Creature, for example, Unconditional Self-Acceptance, Mind That Monkey. Those are all things that I think are very good key phrases when you want to check in with yourself. This is definitely like a self-development, kind of self-love, empowerment, self-empowerment type of deck. Beautiful pairing with the Nicoletta Cecoli Tarot, which is another one that walks the fine line between creepy and cute for me. Look, Quiet the Anxiety Monster. I love this one. There's something very charming about those creatures. It's giving similar vibes as Brian Froud Fairies Oracle, which is one of my all-time favorite Oracle decks. If you have that one, you know some cards are beautiful and enchanting, and some cards are a little bit creepy. This is giving me same vibes. Like, I wouldn't be surprised seeing this card in one Brian Froud's Oracle decks. The book is also really well done. I think Angie Solin's decks are great. I don't vibe with all of them, so I've only got 2. I've only got this one and Divine Nature Oracle, but I know a lot of you enjoy her decks, and the deck I've loved working with the most with this is this particular tarot deck. It's called the Corrupted Tarot. It's by a gaming company called Whirlwind, something like that. Guys, I don't know, I forgot. I'll make sure to leave the name in the description box, but the creators are D&D gaming company, and they got lots of artists together to do a collaborative deck. The particularity of this deck, because of, as the name suggests, the Corrupted Tarot. First, well, like I was saying, it's a collaborative deck, so there's different artists for every card, which normally for me is the devil. I struggle connecting with them normally. I find them not cohesive enough, and it gets in the way of my readings. This is one of the few exceptions to my rule. I don't know why it works, but it works, even though there's definitely very different artworks here. Because the intention is the same, which is that it represents every time the reversal meaning of a card, which is why it's called the Corrupted Tarot. I think that intention being the same throughout the deck helps to make this deck very cohesive, and it's become my go-to for shadow work. This is definitely not a deck for the faint of heart. If you like to be cuddled by your decks, if you want to be eat, pray, love, no, walk away. This is not for you, because this is a reversal only type of deck. It's definitely one that will only show the darker side of a card, the side that is definitely in the shadow, and it makes for amazing, powerful, deep reading. I mean, look at this 10 of Cups. Oof, yeah. but it's not one that I would recommend you go to if you want to be cuddled. I don't want to be denigrating love light message because sometimes I need them. And look, like I've just showed you the Animal Kin Oracle. It's definitely more, I would say, positive in the way it delivers the messages. So depending on what I need, I'll go towards a deck like that. But sometimes I need the dark, deep truth. And when I do, this is the kind of deck that I go to. Perfect for shadow work. Absolutely. I mean, they're, like I said, not for the faint of heart. This Ace of Cups, I've showed it a few times on my channel. The way that this person is feeding from themselves, they're literally draining their own blood to feed themselves. Talk about being completely self-absorbed to the point where you feed off of yourself. Powerful, beautiful, hauntingly beautiful. King of Swords. This King of Swords, definitely probably one of my favorite depictions. Like I said, I know this deck is not for everyone, but for me it really does it. With the Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle that I was just sharing with you, these two together make for a beautiful pair to do any kind of, like I was saying, shadow work, going deep, asking hard questions, looking at the hard truth, going a little bit in the realm of the devil and of the tower and all of those like darker things that we still need to look at if we want to be able to move forward. So love these two. The last pairing, and then we'll talk about individual decks, is the Tarot de Marseille revisité et illustré by Émilie Dedieu and l'Oracle Inspiré, also by Émilie Dedieu. This is indie. This is mass market. You can get this mass market on Amazon French. I'll make sure to leave a link. This you can get on Emily's website. I believe it was out of print for a while. I mean, just in between reprint, not out of print. But I think on her website I saw she was reprinting some for end of September. So there might even be some now by the time I'm posting it, or it's coming very soon. Her first deck that she's printing mass market, she's a very prolific creatrix. I have quite a few of her deck, printing everything indie. This is her first, I believe, mass market creation, and I love it. And this is awesome because it doesn't have any keywords, and it's a fully intuitive divinatory oracle, so you can use it however you want, which is the beauty of it. There's a guidebook which gives you some ideas of meanings if you want some guidance, if you want some help there, but she really invites you in the guidebook to make this deck your own. She even invites you to write some keywords on the card if you want, because it's the kind of paper where you could write if you wanted to. She really is, the whole point of this is to make it your own, to let yourself be free, to follow your intuition. And I have been loving this one as a divinatory oracle for the last few months. You've seen it me using in my recent monthly readings. Yeah, I use it for August and July, I think I did. It reads beautifully. I've used it weekly for me for my Weaker Heads reading personally, and it works like a charm. You can make this divinatory, you can make this an empowering oracle. It's the beauty of this. It's fully intuitive. I love the artwork, those watercolors with those golden inks accent. It's beautiful, and it's super versatile, and I love oracles that let me do whatever the F I want. One day I might read the whale and it means a certain thing, and the next day it might mean something else, and I love that I'm not constrained by a keyword here, that I can absolutely rely on my intuition. So love this one. What I've been using with for my, like I was saying, mostly week ahead reading, because I've been using this oracle deck in a divinatory sense. I've been using Le Tarot de Marseille revisité illustré by the same artist alongside with it. So this you can get on her own website. It's indie printed. Even though it's called Le Tarot de Marseille, it's not. It's fully illustrated, and it's so gentle, so beautiful. So this is definitely a favorite for the month of August. When I was sick and I had COVID, I still loved using this tarot deck. It was so gentle, so kind, and I'm a big fan of this artist. I think her art style is enchanting and beautiful. So when I saw that she was doing her tarot, which I believe this is her first tarot deck, I have a few of her oracle decks, but I believe this is her first tarot, I ordered it straight away. It arrived this year and I'm in love. It's beautiful. I've shared it on my Instagram quite a lot, and I know so many of you sent me a message saying you had ordered it too, or that you were waiting for the restock at the end of September. I know so many of you are waiting for it. You sent me a message telling me that you had fallen in love with it, and I understand. I'm a big fan of this artwork. It feels like a HUD deck to me. It feels very gentle, very kind. It walks that fine line between a little bit fairy tale, a little bit magical, even though there's some reference to day as well. Yeah, it's got a beautiful energy. I don't know how else to say it, but it definitely has beautiful energy, this deck, and it reads like a hug. I love this Four of Swords, might be one of my favorite Four of Swords I've ever seen. It's a nice change from just rest. I love the addition of acupuncture. I'm a big fan of acupuncture, so share the backs with you. I don't know if I did actually. They're very simple, but you know, beautiful. I should have said, but it doesn't come with a guidebook. I don't know if there's a PDF guidebook in the work or not, or if she's gonna print a guidebook. I'm not sure. Honestly, you don't need it. I think the reinterpretation are very good, very intuitive. If you're familiar with tarot in any way, you'll have no problem reading with this. I'm a big fan. You're gonna see this in future pick a card. I want to use this to read for you guys because I've been using it for myself a ton. I've done all of my weekly readings with this, and it's time to share. I don't want to keep it for just me. Wrap up the video by sharing with you 3 RWS clones-ish. We'll start with one that I've done a video on, Rider Marseille Tarot Deck by Artisan Tarot. I've done a whole review of this deck on my channel, so I'll make sure to leave it in the card. This was sent to me for review, and thank you so much again to Artisan Tarot because I'm obsessed. This is definitely my new favorite hybrid. As the name suggests, Rider Marseille, this is a hybrid between Tarot de Marseille and RWS. So this is on linen cardstock, so it shuffles really easily. It actually emulates the wood cutting methods of printing from Tarot de Marseille. Elements from the Tarot de Marseille have been reused, so instead of the traditional swords from the RWS, we have Marseille swords, and yet the core of it, in terms of the meaning represented, is RWS. So it's got the look and elements from the Marseille. I would say it's 70% RWS and 30% Marseille, if that makes sense. And as someone who has started tarot with RWS, who's always loved Tarot de Marseille for the aesthetic of it, but who at the beginning was struggling to read with it, this is perfect because it's still very much in my comfort zone. System I really enjoy now, but RWS remains my comfort zone, right? I always say on my channel, like, the RWS is like period pants, right? They're comfy, you can rely on them anytime and they won't let you down. So this is a really nice hybrid. Big fan of this one. So I've been using it a lot in the since I've gotten it, like last 2-3 months. You'll see it on my channel in future pick a card readings. I've used it in my Justice inspired pick a card, but I don't know if that's up by the time you guys are watching it or not. The other RWS clone I've been loving is this. Yeah, random white box. Fantastic, Marine, we love it. This is, I forgot the name, Re-Envisioned Rider Waite, I think it's called. It's a deck I got on Make Playing Cards. Re-Envisioned Smith-Waite Tarot. It's by the art occultist who has also awesome other decks. My god, English, hard. Okay, start again. Who also has awesome decks. Yeah, that's better. I'm sorry you guys, I'm still a little bit brain fog and flared up from the trip, so sometimes English is hard. Yeah, this creator has got really cool decks. This is the one I got, but I could definitely see myself get others because she's got some really cute ones. And it's an RWS with backgrounds that are photographic, like landscapes. So it takes the RWS and it puts it in nature. And you know what? Big fan. I mean, it's literally the RWS. There's like the main characters from it, from the Pamela Coleman Smith artwork, but the backgrounds are giving photography, and I love that because it's thinking about, okay, if I was to go and visit the Knight of Cups, where would he live? What kind of landscape? What kind of continent? Would it be sunny? Would it be raining? Would it be the ocean? Would it be the river? So I really enjoy this one. For me, I love the idea of thinking about, yeah, the background, what happens in real life if we were to take a walk. Imagine each card being a portal you could walk into. What would it look like? Where if you were to step into the world of the star, if you were to step into the world of the lovers, etc, etc. So this is a really nice little deck. I've enjoyed it. We have Le Mont Saint-Michel for the 5 of Cups, which I thought is really cool idea. We have the Colosseum for the Chariot. Yeah, it's really good. Look at this beautiful 2 of Swords. So yeah, I'm a big fan. And again, I've used this one in my Justice inspired pick a card. It's part of your Fool's Journey. If you weren't aware, I'm doing a pick a card inspired by each major arcana in tarot. I've called it hashtag your Fool's Journey. I'm gonna make sure to leave a playlist in the description box. At the time of me filming, we are up to the Justice card, and I used this one in that video. I don't know if that's up by the time you're watching this. All the other 11 major arcana readings are already up, so I invite you to check that out. There's definitely lots of different themes and we're having a great time walking through each major arcana. It's been a wonderful experience on my channel, so thank you so much to everyone who's following along for that as well. The last deck I want to talk about today, and then I will let you go back to your life because I've been talking on for way too long, is the Broken Mirror Tarot. I've got the 5th edition. This I got on Vermilion Collection on Etsy. Decks are really affordable, I think. I mean, it depends which one, but the one that comes in those card box are usually pretty much the price of mass market decks, so we love it. They also offer free shipping to Reunion, so we love that. This has been a deck I've really enjoyed, and I never see anyone talk about this deck, so I wanted to mention it because it deserves some love. It's a deck, Broken Mirror. There's a few editions out, there's a few colorings out. There's an Emerald edition, which is this one. There is a Mercury edition. There's lots. The one I have is the one in the tuck box, 5th edition, Emerald edition. So I'll just put that out there, but you can get this in lots of different ways. You can see it's the emerald because the edges are green. This is inspired by European stained glass windows in churches and stuff, so you can see the artwork definitely looks like stained glass. That's why it's called Broken Mirror. And this could seem like an RWS clone, but it's really not. It's actually full of interesting little details, additions, and so for me, even though the core of it is an RWS, it is absolutely not a clone. Unlike the other two I was sharing earlier, this does its own thing. There's lots of little hidden gems, little Easter eggs here that will give beautiful addition to your reading, and this has been amazing to work with. I love this so much. Again, I really want to read with it for you guys. Posted readings on my Instagram with this, and a lot of you seem to have enjoyed it as well. I just love the fact that there's so many little added details, so many added little, like I was saying, hidden gems that makes this deck unique, that gives it unique interpretation. It's a deck I never really see anyone talk about or share, which I don't understand why, because it's beautiful. I think it's fairly affordable last time I checked. There's lots of different coloring, so if you don't like the majority of blues and grays, you can get it in other colors. A sepia looking one and a purple one if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's very detailed, fine lines. So maybe that's why. Maybe some people feel like it's too small detailed. I can imagine if you have some problems with your eyesight, maybe it wouldn't be the easiest deck to read with, but I really adore it. I think it's great. I wanted to share it with you guys. I've talked about it in recent videos anyway, it's not new. Still one I wanted to shout out because it deserves some love, and I really enjoy Vermilion Collection decks. I've ordered their Silhouette Tarot. I've not received it yet. I backed their Kickstarter, the Exile Tarot, this year, and I love it. They have really nice decks, and they do free shipping, which I know seems small, but when you live on a little island in the middle of nowhere, trust me, free shipping is like Christmas time for us. Okay, my friends, this is it. I'm gonna end the video here and have a little lie down because I'm starting to feel a little bit lightheaded. But if you've made it this far and you watched the whole video, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for your support, for being here. Thank you to everyone who continued watching my videos, older videos, even when I wasn't here, because like I said, thanks to you I was able to make a donation to the wildlife rehabilitation center I visited, so thank you so much for that. I'm so pumped for being back. I have so many ideas of future videos, of readings. My list is so long, so I just need now my body to recover, to cooperate. My mind is on 1,000,000,000% on. My body just needs to catch up, but my spoonies out there can relate. In the meantime, I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you're having a good September, going back to school time, autumn vibes. For me, we're going into spring, almost summertime, so it's definitely starting to get hotter. I'm very jealous for all of those of you who are living your best cozy life. All I want to do is get into a blanket and drink tea, but here it's getting quite warm, so this is not the fantasy. But until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!